my piece.
My point in saying all of that is, even if I was to put the foot forward to make these things happen for us, specifically for us, it's going to be so much interference. And my thing is this: if those people could interfere and they interfere on a legal level, then we should be able to interfere as a black American people, as a 13% of people, and recognize that whatever little crumbs that the WWE choose to throw at us is not satisfactory, and that they could do better as an American company, and that they should do better as an American company. And hey, if you want to be straightforward, if you choose not to let that happen, then say it and let us go, or integrate us properly. Listen, when I talk about equality, I don't just talk about wrestlers. I'm talking about producers, creative, cameramen, executives, people who have actual power within the WWE organization. Integrate them properly. Say this is beyond wrestling. Integrate them in every aspect of the business, or let us go.
Mm.
They got 800 in the WWE. Look it up. They got 800 employees. 250 of them may be wrestlers. So the other five, six something, those are legitimate positions that have absolutely nothing to do with wrestling, right?
Yeah.
They all have a hand in building this brand. So, with that being said, how many prominent black Americans do you have in those positions? Are you telling me that no one is qualified? Most of the people that work for the WWE don't give a shit about wrestling.
All right. I will just say that, but that's pretty much any company.
Yes.
So it's not just WWE. You're gonna have a lot of pencil pushers and companies, just people, executives, desk jobs, all that though. So that the one thing it is the wrestlers
You
and the
just got to
create.
take it. Wrestling with racialism is just a specific field. I do take it on all fronts, and I get what you're saying, but I'm just, at least from the wrestling aspect, I'm breaking that down. But yes, this is in every field
Yeah,
of
yeah.
business.
So at the end of the day, it's gonna have to be stuff. It got to start with stuff we can actually see first before you could get
Mm-hmm.
to the stuff that you're talking about. So
Gotcha.
so the representation, I do agree. It definitely is important, but I feel a lot of times you get people that don't have genuine intentions with it. They just use it
Mm,
as something to talk about just to take shots and stuff. So we need
mm-hmm.
people that actually really have genuine intentions and actually really care, and not just trying to push an agenda on that as well.
Uh,
I,
hundred
so
percent.
I feel
And that's why I take. But you know what? That's 100%, and that's why I take lately when I view certain things that Triple H has done since, I would say, August, when there was no black wrestlers at all wrestling on SummerSlam. And this is, y'all got to know, I've been at this since 2020. It started off as an experiment during COVID, and I started analyzing what b- people were talking about during that time, and I pick people brains. I just started picking shit, and a lot of explosive things have come out. America is parallel, so professional wrestling is very much parallel with wrestling, with professional wrestling. I'm sorry, professional wrestling is parallel with America, and that's why I call it wrestling with racism. And if you check out my stuff, most of the things that I talk about is wrestling, but it's the same thing on day to day when it comes down to racism. You know what I'm saying? And I talk about a lot of other things outside of wrestling with other people. So if y'all follow me, y'all may be able to check it out. Check out some of the people I follow and some of the spaces that I go into. It's some deep shit that we get into, and y'all might be able to contribute. You know what I'm saying? Depending on where you at. But my thing is, I'm bringing it consistent because no one else is bringing it, and I'm keeping it in context as well. Because at the same time of me keeping things in context, we are noticing the problem. We are noticing that black people are declining in the WWE. Generally, people would come to me and say people in NXT was successful, but when you look at those Velveteen Dreams, who was affected, they accused him of something. It come to find out he wasn't charged criminally, and it come to find out that it was false, and he still don't have a job. Wrestling is his field, so you can't just say, "Oh shit, I'm going for wrestling and going to McDonald's and shit." This was what this man wanted to do. He was affected by an allegation. You look at Keith Lee, to where everybody wanted to sit up here and talk about the key success that Keith Lee had in NXT, and I'm looking at Keith Lee today. He's nowhere.
Well, he got health issues
You
though,
know what I'm
so
saying?
he got health issues. That's why.
I never seen no official report. No one is up front when it come down to Black Americans, and even at
He
that,
might not
if
want
that's
people to
the
know that
case,
stuff. So I can't necessarily agree on the Keith Lee front with you on that one though. But
I get that. But tell me what's the difference between Shane Taylor and Samoa Joe?
Shane Taylor, Samoa Joe. I ain't never really been into Shane Taylor, so but but you.
If you look at his work, he is I mean, these are the people that they present us. Like I said, there's much more people out there, but I'm just speaking of the people that they got. I agree with what you may say. And in essence though, when you do look at his work, it can be comparative to Samoa Joe. But they don't present him as such. And that's how you won't get that feeling. They would throw him out there for the fact of saying that they have him, but they're not going to present him as such. One of my biggest issues is everybody say, "Oh, Swerve Strickland is the AEW champion." Cool. How many people did you elevate throughout the time that Swerve Strickland was champion? Lee Moriarty is one of the people that they have. They did nothing to elevate him. I heard y'all talking about Private Party, who's been there since the beginning. That's a natural tag team. They did nothing to elevate them beyond what they are doing right now. You can't say that they don't have the ability. Anybody could do a moonsault and a fucking drop kick. Why aren't these guys further than where they are? It's a difference. They want these people to say that they have them, but they're not going to do anything with them to move forward.
Well, I want to see this Triple H stuff real quick. I got my computer on. I want to see what he said.
Can you put it up to the thing? Because I didn't hear the comments either.
I'm gonna try to find it. It's on Twitter somewhere. Uh,
I wonder who asked them too, because see, Triple H not gonna talk to niggas like me. Triple H not gonna talk to niggas like you, but he will talk to a person and say, "Oh fuck, I love what you're doing down in NXT, and I don't understand why people say that you're racist." And oh my god, look at Bianca Belair. Triple H gonna talk to them niggas, but he not gonna come down to the D and talk to my ass.
nah,
You
I
know
mean,
what
you
I'm
can't.
saying?
Nah, they ain't Triple ain't gonna. So as soon as he hear you start talking to, yeah,
I'm not gonna get a pass none of that shit. And don't get it twisted. I'm not I'm not an ignorant nigga for shit.
all right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, let me hear.
I don't see the difference, or that there are wrestlers that get opportunities that are deserved. I see everybody gets the opportunity. Like if I don't see the difference in anybody. I don't see the color. I don't see the nationality. I don't see any of it. I just see talent. I don't see the difference. Pause it real quick. Pause it
Oh,
real
okay.
quick. I'll pause it real quick, just to keep it in context. When white folks say that they don't see color, that mean they don't see black people. Go ahead.
I see talent. We tell stories with those talent, how they can handle those stories and how they can represent those stories and how we can bring those stories forward. So, um, you know, I don't keep track of any of that. I do what's relevant and what is best, and the best in storytelling and what's being delivered the best. And then that's what goes. No different than, the men and the women who main events, whatever the biggest stories are. That's where we go. Next, sure that there are rest.
Okay, that was what the gist of it.
And he cut that off quick. See, let me tell you something. When white folks say they don't see color, that mean they don't see black people. Nigga, I'm in front of your face. So now let's go to the talent base. And like I said, this is what I said before. Black Americans, we all know, are the most athletic people in the world. We are the most talented, the most entertaining people in the world, and we are the most what's that fucking word that I use? Come
Charismatic.
on. Charismatic people in the world. Can anybody up here deny that?
I don't think so, because you look at all entertainment, comedians, uh, actors, athletes, all dominated by blacks.
Nigga, I will watch Robin Harris 24 hours a day before I sit up and watch 1 minute of Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld is worth over $1 billion and Robin Harris is dead. You know what I'm saying? White supremacy. And I mean, you can't tell me once John said, I don't give a fuck how much of a coon you may be or whatever. You can't sit up here and tell me one Jerry Seinfeld joke and tell me that shit is legitimately funny. You know what I'm saying? So I'm dead serious. And so with that being said, Triple H say that you don't look at color, but you look at talent and you look at ability. Well, look at the shape of black people in the WWE. Let's look at the shape. Trick Williams is in greater shape than most black white folk on the roster. Carmelo Hayes is in greater shape than most white folk on the roster. Obafemi may be in greater shape than any person on the roster. Physical. We just looking at them. You know what I'm saying? So we got that out the way. Charismatic. Stop stereotyping us and let us be what we are. And you may find out that we may be the best thing that you fucking got. Again, it comes down to effort. When I talk about inside the ring, what can Cody Rhodes do that Montez Ford can't do?
Well,
That's not knocking Cody Rhodes for what he does. But nigga, you ain't no special than the next man.
Dusty Sun, man.
Dusty was the biggest racist in the fucking world. Black people loved him though. That nigga Cater, he cosplayed on our culture. With that little, cause you know what? My mama could be in the kitchen and be like, look at that little fat old little boy. And we like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what got him over. Dusty hated your ass though. Dusty was in that Ric Flair Ole Anderson circle. You know what I'm saying?
I heard somebody that said they worked at a hospital that had treat Dusty Rhodes, and they said some stuff about him. That's all I'm gonna say.
Man, all I'm gonna say is this. You talking about a white man from motherfucking Texas. In the motherfucking that came up in Texas in the 50s, 60s, 70s. Let me tell you something. When your money is on the line
Hey, hey,
and you hate somebody, when your money is on the line and you hate somebody, are you going to sit up there and openly
no,
mistreat them?
no. You ever seen that Cody Rhodes show with his wife Brandy? Like the one when he was in AEW.
I know what you're talking about. I didn't
I
watch it.
watched it though, man. I saw like the first episode, and Brandy was like, she was like, she was like, I don't think they like me.
They don't, nigga.
Like
When
his
did this
sister,
bitch?
like talk
I
about his
found out
like
about
Cody's
this bitch.
sisters and shit. He was like, I wonder
And I
why they
want
don't
y'all
like you,
to.
Brandon.
Oh, you talking about her his sisters and shit. But and it's funny too, cause one of them and don't get me wrong, when it come down to politics, I'm not for Trump or Kamala, but one of them Trump supporters did get their ass whooped the other day. That just show you, nigga, they don't give a fuck about your ass. They'll let you be anti-black all they want, but when it come down to it, nigga, you still a nigger to them. And when it come down to interracial relationships, you got to remember, and we talking about historics now.
Well, man, I don't
Black,
know if I want to go down that route because
you know where I'm at though, right? You know
I
where I'm
don't.
at though, right? So we can't say that because he's married to a black woman that he's not a racist. We talking about a black woman that potentially hates herself. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I say that is because I dug into her. And not literally, and I would, but I wouldn't marry the bitch because she white. But my thing is like when all the stuff happened down in 2020 with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and them getting killed, and people started questioning her on why she never spoke up, and she got an interview, and I'm gonna find it. I'm drunk now. I'm not trying to look through all that shit right now, but you can look for it for yourself, and I'll find it later and send it to you if you don't see it. But she did address the situation that Black Americans don't accept her speaking on issues of like that because she's married to a white man. That's what she said. And I'm sitting up here thinking, like, bitch, if you a real black woman, you don't give a fuck what people think. Nigga, if you really feel this way about injustices that's going on against people that share the same skin color as you should be able to speak on that no matter what people say. You know what I'm saying? The shit that I'm talking to y'all about right now, I get so much fucking hate from it, from white folk, black folk, anybody, but I'm not going to stop expressing my opinion. And that's where my problem is with her on that. So you got your husband out here speaking on injustices against white folk, against black people, and he's white, but you can't say shit. This is hurt. You know what I'm saying? So that's black people disconnect with her. And my thing is when you get into these white spaces and you got to disconnect with black people because you got these tone views or whatever, you protected your daughter from not being viewed as a Breonna Taylor or a Sandra Bland or a Sexy Red. You know what I'm saying? You protected her image on that. At the end of the day, like you said, when it came down to Cody Rhodes' sister and shit, she got the fella that she didn't like her. You still a nigger to these people. So now you lost in space. So Cody Rhodes being married to her, he just infatuated with vagina. Same reason why any white man want a white woman, want a black woman. So, in essence, we do recognize that there is a problem. And we do recognize that they aren't going to do anything about it. We do recognize that if we try to do something for ourselves, we are going to develop roadblocks. Why are you doing this for black people only? Why are you discriminating against white people? Why are you being racist? Da 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 da. We not being racist. We just having something for our own. But this is what they would say. Where do we, as a people, overcome?
You know how do we
That's the
overcome the
question.
roadblocks?
Yes, to gain freedom in America.
The only way you could do that is everybody come together.
Bingo. That's one.
The only other way is you have to have ownership of stuff.
That's two. But those things tend to get stolen and swindled and shit. That's where we at
But
now. That's where we at right. Where we
I'm
at
talking
right now.
about like real ownership, like ownership of land.
In real time. Yes. Where are you on reparations?
You said where are we on reparations? We
You,
ain't
you.
getting that shit. We ain't getting
How
that
do,
shit, man. Come on now.
course not. But do you believe that we old and do
We
reparations?
should get it, but we ain't gonna. It ain't gonna happen though.
No, we're not. And I'll tell you why. We are non-factor at this point. We are the number three minority group in America. I'm sorry, we're the number two minority group in America right now. And this is why when the Puerto Rican was telling me about a black and brown coalition, well, guess what? It's more brown people in America right now than it is black people. It's about 20 million more of them in America, according to the 22 census in America. They're going to utilize these. What area do you live in, if you don't mind me asking?
For me,
Yeah.
I live in St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay, so that's practically black right now, right?
It's mixed.
With what?
No, like black and white.
Okay. Are you noticing any immigrants coming into your area?
But that's always been the case though, because like you go like you could think about if you live in a black area and you got the Asians selling you rice and shit, or they selling you owning the beauty shops and shit like that. But we always know that.
Hmm. And they got a hate crime bill too. And the thing about that is, let's say your little sister or something, you know, them Asians get smart than a motherfucker. And let's say that your sister had enough, bitch. You talking smart, you know, try to attack like they would attack your cousin or some shit like that. Not only would they get charged with an assault charge, but they would get charged with a hate crime. And we don't have no, like, if Asians attack us, we won't get that same treatment. As a matter of fact, they may not even get an assault charge. You know what I'm saying?
Hold up, HBK
So
for what up, Duke? CT.
Hey, what's up, man? How y'all doing after this show that basically
Hey,
peaked after the first match?
HBK, four stacks. We'll switch. We get back to what you talking about, my boy Duke.
I got you. Yeah. I ain't mean to do all that, but yeah, I got you though. I just wanted to
No,
throw that out there.
oh, that's no
I
problem.
appreciate that.
But yeah, it peaked after the first match, by the way. And I mean, I'm gonna say that both women's matches were mid, and Rhea and Liv. I'm like, I like Rhea, I like Liv, but my gosh, everyone it's just basically why didn't you just have a Rhea versus Dom? That's the match people have been booked and wanted to see. Liv has basically been completely forgotten about. She is just completely forgotten about. And at this point, we have Rhea Gonzalez come in and a botchy, sloppy finish that she was like knocked her out and then she dragged her up there. Like the match is called off. I'm like, what is this? It was just probably the worst match of the night, and that's a shame.
All right.
And then you
I don't mean to cut you off, Duke CT. I'm gonna tell you why they can't do Liv versus what Rhea versus Dominic. Because I'm gonna tell you why they ain't gonna do no intergender matches like that. All right, if they start doing those matches, you know what's gonna start happening. You're gonna have a clamoring
what?
for a Tessa Blanchard situation where they're gonna want a woman to be the world champion, and you do that, you effectively kill the fucking business.
Wait a minute. Eventually, you think that they may go that direction, though?
They better not. They'll kill their whole fucking audience. They do some shit like that.
I think that I don't know.
Eh,
And we may not be talking about within the next 5 years, but who's to say that that won't
I hope I
happen?
be dead by.
it,
I hope I be dead by then.
but
I
I'm
ain't
just
Listen,
gonna
trying to
say
rock
this
no.
though.
hey, they ever put a woman? They ever put like WWE or AEW ever put a woman as the world champion? I'm done watching
Well,
wrestling.
TNA, right?
I tell you what. I tell you what. And I'm not switching it back to that. But I just to say this, I guarantee you that they would have more women be world champions before they ever give Black Americans salvation completely in the WWE. But yeah, I believe that can and will happen one day. I don't think they'll be opposed to that,
That'll be
unfortunately.
50,
Well,
60
you
years
know,
from now when I'm in the dirt. 'Cause I ain't
but
trying to
yeah,
hear that shit.
Oh, I'm just, but that's what they've been booking towards. And I'm like, by the way, did you ever forget that Liv Morgan's the women's champion, by the way? I feel like they just forgot about
Yeah.
Yeah, because she sucks, man.
that.
Well, this is what I was saying about Triple H's booking overall. It's no substance. They hot. And don't get me wrong, WrestleMania, I enjoyed. I fell off of wrestling after WrestleMania because that ride that they put us on, that rejuvenated me for a minute. That was a great build up overall through WrestleMania. But after WrestleMania, it's like one when it okay. Let me break it down. Rhea Ripley, I believe that people like is infatuated with Rhea Ripley the same way that they infatuated with Becky Lynch. Her accent, it's the accent. And the unique look, she got the black makeup on. Nobody else got black makeup on and black hair and all the other different shit. And Becky Lynch with the orange hair. You know what I'm saying? Presentation. To
Yes.
me, inside the ring, those women never did nothing inside the ring to make me be like, oh shit, you a fucking legend. But of course, they're going to present them that way. But obviously, Rhea Ripley is bigger than what she's supposed to be, and obviously, Liv Morgan is bigger than what she's supposed to be. I think that Liv Morgan is good for the role that she's playing, but for her to be a multi-time women's champion and to stand the test of time, obviously, they're going to have to do something different with her later on down the line.
That
Now, I
feud
want to
with
say
Rhea
this about
Ripley ruined her. I mean, that feud with Leah has been ruined ever since that Ronda Rousey feud. That just killed her.
I'm sorry, who?
The Ronda Rousey thing. When she was like she pinned her, then she tapped out, and then she had that wishy washy promo after
But like
SmackDown. I'm
they
like,
should have never put her in the ring with Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey's a real fucking
I don't
fighter.
even remember. I don't remember that or give a fuck about it because that's the thing. At that time, they really wasn't shit. And the thing is, wins and losses sometimes don't mean anything. It depends on how you make up for it, and they have made up with it with Rhea Ripley. And if you can, but okay, but that's important that you said that. How long ago was that she lost to to Ronda Rousey?
So that was like 2 years ago.
And you still put that against Rhea Ripley?
no, I don't put that against her. I think it's just a presentation. Her presentation,
Overall.
Liv Morgan's presentation, it's just the whole Judgment Day. It just feels like honestly they should be at this point. I wish they just break up at this point. It just feels like it's just a drain on everyone. I mean,
Well, let's look at that. I always talk about this. What was Judgment's Day objective?
to get Rhea and Priest over.
Okay, so technically they never had an objective because they could have did that without the Judgment Day. And so my thing is like I take for an example like Damian Priest won the world title.
Hmm.
Instantly they break up. So y'all point was never to be have a world champion in y'all stable. It was never domination. The blood